What is up, Multidimensional Baddies? So I'm so excited. We have a new academic season of Witchery U very quickly approaching. The doors to Witchery U open on August 28th, so 9 days away from the recording of this. And I wanted to, I was like, should I do like an IG live? And then I was like, ew, no. Right? I was like, no, I should do a podcast. So we're just going to do a academic season 2025-2026 overview today. I'm going to tell you guys all about what we have coming up, the options that we have for Witchery U. We have options for Witchery U starting at $33 a month. So it's very accessible for everyone. We have options up to all kinds of different stuff. We're going to get into it. But anyways, basically, for this episode, I just wanted to kind of walk you guys through the options of Witchery U for 2025 to 2026. I finally feel like I got the business architecture and the pricing is like exactly perfect. Like I woke up today, I did it yesterday. I did my next stage of it because like I will sit and I will architect something and I will tweak the frequency and the pricing and the vibes and how it's flowing and everything until I'm 100% happy with it, and I won't launch anything. I won't do anything until I am happy with it at that level, because that's when you are successful. Just going out and doing stuff just to say that you did it, just to get it done, often leads people to results that they're not very happy with. So when you can really tune into like, you know, even if it takes you longer than you think it should, or even if, you know, Witchery U just turned 2 this summer, and I just now feel like I'm kind of getting the vibe with her. I know what's going on. Like, I feel like now this is the first year we're really going to see like real growth and expansion and things happening with Witchery U. And that's perfectly normal. I think that this is something that's not talked enough about in business, particularly online, is that, you know, I always say like, you can't judge, if you've got a legacy offer, you can't judge a legacy offer in the first year. It's pure chaos mode. That's it. It's just a pure chaos mode of creation. Creation is pure chaos energy, and you have to enter into the chaos field in order to create something. That's just how that works. So, you know, you can't create from linear completion, knowing exactly what's going to happen and how it's going to go. And like, that's fucking boring, you know? And I really feel like for something as big as Witchery U is a huge project. If you're not familiar with what Witchery U is my online platform that I created that serves as a school of all of my magic, from witchcraft to business to multidimensional reality and cosmic cultures and astral projection and, you know, all kinds of fun stuff. So we have, and this is, I'm going to tell you more about what we're doing in there. This year I run Witchery U on an academic schedule. So we start the academic Witchery U year in September, and then we go until May, and then I like to take the summer to kind of rest, recalibrate, shift. This summer I completely closed Witchery U a couple of months ago, did some house cleaning. We've been doing some recalibrating, just tuning and really kind of refining and elevating and just making sure that like everything is really where I want it to be before we reopen the doors. So everybody who is already in Witchery U, we've been having our fun summer session, summer school. We're not like, there's a structure, and that structure exists for the waters of consciousness to flow. That's how it works. We don't do time schedules. We don't do things that you have to keep up with. We don't do stuff that you have to put on your schedule. There are no live calls. You cannot get on a live call with me. Even my highest level private clients cannot get on a call with me. You cannot get on a call with me. I don't do live calls. I've done over 3,000 live calls in my career. I've facilitated over 3,000 psychic sessions, tarot readings, spellwork consultations, chakra healing sessions, energy sessions, etc., etc. I have done more than enough live calls for the rest of my existence. I don't need to ever do another one. And mostly that's because I realized how limiting they were. Live calls are extremely limiting. If you have to show up at the same time as someone else, that puts you on a time schedule. That automatically stresses you out. It automatically puts you having to be somewhere in a time that's convenient for someone else, not in the timing that's best for you. So everything that I do is pre-recorded, asynchronous, time-based. You come into the environment and you get to access what is available when it is best for you. And I work very hard to make sure that I'm always creating new things that are going to be exactly what my collective needs. And I'm really good at like gauging where people are in specific journeys and what they need the most. And I'm always working to create things that will meet my collective where they are. And the collective that I'm always working to meet where they are the most is the collective inside of Witchery U. So I create the content that I create based on who is in Witchery U, and the people in Witchery U, the very real living people in Witchery U, actually help to steer the direction that Witchery U goes in. So it's very important to me in, my design, my architecture, and the vibration and frequency that I hold for Witchery U, that I have all of, it's a lot of spinning plates, making sure that you're, tuning into the right people, tuning into the right things, tuning into and right meaning resonant, meaning, people who are really here for what you're doing, not just here for maybe some clout or because they think that they can siphon your tricks and be just like you or anything like that, right? Witchery U is also designed to be a long game. Please do not come into Witchery U thinking you're going to be there for a month, learn everything that you need to know to be a bajillionaire, and then cancel and go on about your merry way and, et cetera, right? That's just like sold paradigm energy. Witchery U is, for me as a being and for the people that I work with, learning is a way of life. Learning is a way of existence. There's always something new to learn. There's always something new to go out and study, and it's very fun for us, which is why I decided I wanted to devote my life to this because I enjoy it. And I was very disappointed by academics on Earth and academia on Earth, and so I have decided to create my own brand of cosmic academia and bring the cosmos and magic to planet Earth via Witchery U, so that, I just realized like so many people, wanted to learn, wanted knowledge, wanted to be able to wield their own magic, wanted to be able to monetize their magic, wanted to know how to do things well from someone who had vast knowledge and very practical knowledge of all of the things that they teach. And more than anything, they really wanted to be able to do that in their own time, right? The consistent, we all have to show up in a big group and we all have to be live together and we all have to one-to-one and we all have to network and we all have to this. That's energy vampirism. Hi, I'm kind of an expert on energy vampires. And that's energy vampirism 101, okay? So we don't do that. Also, one thing that I noticed is that many online people, business coaches, spiritual influencers, that one pro witch turned trad wife for Jesus, all sorts of these people were very heavily, every sort of, people who were leading alchemy schools and teaching people manifestation and teaching people business and teaching people spirituality and all of these other things, right? They were all creating businesses, brands, and realities that functioned on cult mechanics. And if you've never done any research into cult mechanics and how cults work and the psychology of cults, I recommend that you do some looking into that and then kind of overlay that knowledge with any of those realms that you might have been in: social circles, family dynamics, groups that act like families, any sort of group environment can take on kind of cult mechanics, cult psychology, and things like that. So one thing that I've done a lot of, especially lately, I've always been very inclined to kind of make my work the focus rather than everything having to have my face in it, which is one of the reasons why I don't host a video podcast. I don't want to be perceived that much. It also functions to decentralize myself as a centralized figure that has all of the answers, that is to be listened to and obeyed above all else, and blah, 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 right? I'm just here to communicate my knowledge and the things that I know in the ways that seem fun and funky for me, right? I don't have an external validation need. I don't have a celebrity or a rock star wound or wounding patterns. And I just really... I want to show up for my people in the best way possible. I realized a few years ago that, you know, when I was trying to do like a meditation and someone's face was in it, I couldn't focus as much. I was picking up their energy more than anything else. I noticed that when I was looking for information on a lot of high-level topics, when I was looking for people who were speaking what is commonly referred to as light language, because I was looking to unlock my own language codings, from multidimensional cultures and civilizations that I have been to in other experiences and expressions of myself. When I was looking for all of this stuff, I found that I really didn't overly enjoy the videos with someone's face in them. I'm just going to be really honest. 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't even click on them. And if I did, I typically clicked off within about 2 minutes, because whatever the person had going on in their environment at that time, I was picking up every bit of subcoding off of their curtains, off of their backdrops, off of everything, because I'm so psychic, I just can pick up everything. So instead of immersing myself into the experience that I wanted to have, instead of going within and kind of, you know, having that meditative experience or going on that journey or, you know, whatever I was doing, I started to notice how much I was paying attention to the person on the screen. And then I started to notice how much more I got out of, you know, pretty much all content that didn't have someone's face talking at me on the screen. And so that's when hello, my baby. When Mira wants a huggy. Oh, I love you. I love you. Now, I do wish you guys could have seen that, because it was really cute. She came up here and gave me a hug with both hands. A hug with both paws. She put both paws right around my neck. It was so cute. You bless you. So I went and ran errands with Daddy. I got coffee. We went to the store. It was great. There's your little mirror update. Hi, baby. And we are filled with love. Yes, we are. She wants all the love and attention now. She has been out doing things. Yes, you went out and did things. Yes. I love you. I love you. Why are you trying to put my hand in your mouth? She's not trying to bite me. She's literally just like, she's not even closing her mouth. She just wanted her mouth around the general vicinity of the aura of my hand. Okay, cool. Love it. On that note, let's hit the bong, y'all. We haven't hit the bong yet. What? Just because y'all thought hell, I teach Witchery U, and I'm over here like teaching high-level business, hitting the bong. I'm talking to my private clients on Telegram. I'm like voice noting them. I got it on the tripod. I'm hitting the bong. That's my hobby. Don't hate. I think I work for myself to wear pants, show up live to Zoom calls, and be sober all day, every day. Honey, I'm on Earth. No one needs to do that. What the hell? No. Let's not. Let's do hit the bong, though. Or maybe just have a sip of whatever you're drinking, or take a big breath in, or do whatever feels aligned for you that is celebratory, clearing for your energy, and vibes, okay? So imbibe however you want to. You could astral project to Ipsos in the Andromedan universe, and you could have some nice Ipsosian champagne if you so desire. I don't give a flying fuck. Get down with your bad self. Just do something celebratory, people. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Everybody celebrate something. The vibes were weird outside. I was like, I gotta record. This is my antidote. when the vibes are not vibing, you have to become the vibe. You have to start putting out more vibes than are smacking you. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's nothing in particular. It's just like, there's just this weird kind of like oppressive energy right now. Moon's in Cancer, Sun's in Leo as I'm recording this. That could be it right there. I'm not really sure. I've noticed is interesting primordial portals in both the Denebian and Hydran frequency ranges and celestial cosmic locations. And which means that they go to, there's inter-universal portals in both Deneb and Hydra. And Leo broadcasts the frequency range of Hydra, and then Cancer broadcasts the frequency range of Deneb. So we only got 4 more days left of Leo season, though. We about to move into Virgo season. And as a Virgo moon, your girl is excited. Okay, so anyways, yeah, vibes. Before we talk about what we're doing in the next year coming, let's have a sip of latte too. Before we talk about that, let's talk about what we've already got. Let's talk about what's already in there. So it'll be a little bit of a blended conversation, but basically, Witchery U is set up as a singular location that has lots of little pocket dimensions inside of it. I guess we're just going to go ahead and talk about what we're having this year, and then we'll kind of talk about what's inside. So we're going to do the exact opposite of what I said. Cool. So we're going to have our basic witchery tier because I just love that. Years ago, I created a spell oil called Basic Witch, and then I turned the spell oil into a smudge spray called Basic Witch. And I had the whole Basic Witch line. If you don't know, Harvest Rose Witchery started off with me selling products in an Etsy store. Witchy, pagan, occult items that I made in my Etsy store, and then flourished into, I became one of the top professional witches in the world and worked with thousands of clients all over the world, and taught witchcraft for many years. I still teach witchcraft. I've cast over 10,000 spells professionally for my clients. I've facilitated over 3,000 one-to-one sessions of a psychic / magical / interdimensional nature. And now I predominantly teach in Witchery U a variety of subjects. And then I have a very select private client list of Cosmic Royals. And a Cosmic Royal is someone who holds the vibration of their frequency range, like at the utmost level, across time and space. And so, so I work with like very, like big players on the energetic level, to really live as who they really are on Earth, do business as who they really are, all kinds of things. It's a very multidimensional experience, and it's fun. So anyways, so we're going to have the Basic Witch smudge spray, though. It ended up being my favorite scent I've ever created. And I think I'm going to have to get the ingredients for it and then maybe teach a little smudge spray, spell oil masterclass like situation and something this year. I don't know what. I've been really, I created so many spell oils and blends for I used to cast so many spells, and I used all my own spell oils. We made them in-house, and then I turned them into smudge sprays. We had candles, we had all kinds of different stuff. The Basic Witch smudge spray was pretty much everybody who ever smelled the scents in person, Basic Witch was like the winner. Everybody loved Basic Witch. Basic Witch was the most iconic scent I ever created. It smells like fall. It's fabulous. And it's just like the best. It was actually originally created as a blend that I did for Samhain, which is why it smells like the perfect witchy fall. I created it for Samhain, and I was like, this is so good. I can't just confine this to the Samhain vibes. And so we ended up turning that into our Basic Witch blend, and that was really fun. So we're going to have the Basic Witchery tier this year. I've got 2 tiers of Witchery U that provide access to a variety of spaces, and then we have our more focused tiers and memberships, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So our first tier is Basic Witchery. It's going to be $33 a month this year. You get 5 different spaces inside of Witchery U with the basic Witchery tier. You get the news, which is, so Witchery U is set up on a platform that kind of, it was designed to mimic the community aspects of that one really big social media platform. So Witchery U is hosted on Mighty Networks. Just full disclosure, if you're curious what we used to host, it is Mighty Networks. And it's really fun. It is literally designed as, it's like a course hosting platform and social media platform all in one. We have feeds, we have group chats, we have direct messaging. You can make friends in there. You can talk to each other right in the app. We have group chats in some of the spaces. A lot of the spaces have group chats. They will have at least one space that has a group chat in it. So like for our basic Witchery tier and our Cosmic Witchery tiers, each of these tiers are giving you access to, like I said, a variety of single spaces. So we have our single spaces, and then we have our memberships. And our memberships are Coven of One, Luxury Witch Lifestyle, Monetize Your Magic, and the Cosmic Coaching Collective. And we're going to talk a little bit more about those memberships in a little bit. But basically, each of those memberships gives you access to a variety of spaces coded to that exact intent and theme. Our 2 introductory tiers, Basic Witchery and Cosmic Witchery, give you access to a variety of spaces that are single spaces, and then we have different fun things in there. So it's very multidimensional and quite fabulous. So we have, for Basic Witchery, the spaces that you get are the news, the quad, Club Witchery, the gallery, and Ascended Freaks. So, so those are each individual single spaces. And so the news, I post the news in there. We have our Moon Void of Course posts. We have astrology posts. So you know what's going on with cosmic weather. That's where I teach kind of by showing how I read. I developed my own personal method of reading the Schumann resonance. And so I have taught a lot in there about how I read that, what certain things on the graphs tell me, because I through like observational experience, I spent a year observing the Schumann, and then I started piecing together certain things based on the patterns that I was seeing. So I teach that, and you can go back and look at tons of, there's already, like I said, Witchery U's been around for 2 years. There's already so much content in Witchery U. It's fabulous. The quad is a little bit more of like, it was our first social space. One of the best things about the quad is it has our library for, the basic Witchery tier of Witchery U in it. And the quad library has so much fabulous content already in it. We have got masterclasses. We've got all of the cosmic transmissions. We've got all the podcast episodes. We have things organized. One thing that I love about Witchery U is it's given us an opportunity to really organize a Virgo moon. To really organize all the content that I create, which is an immense amount of content. And so it really, you can go in and you can really pick what you're wanting to experience right then, and you can find it. So one cool thing that we're bringing back this year is I'm going to be doing my coffee talk masterclasses again. They will just pop up in the quad when it is time. That's also one of the best things about Witchery U is like, you never know when the content's coming, but it's always coming. I think the longest we've gone without releasing content is maybe 2 weeks. Maybe. But we've typically still been posting, because I just really love being in there. It's really fun, and it's really cool because you can post in there too. You can make posts. People will reply to you. We'll reply to you. You can make posts in the feed. You can talk in the group chat. In whichever spaces have group chats that you're in, you can post all kinds of fun stuff. It's really cool. So Yeah, Coffee Talk Masterclasses was one of the first things that I started doing back when I started Witchery U in 2023, and I'm very excited about it. I don't know when I'm going to record my first one. They just kind of come through whenever they come through. We've already got a couple in there, and we have, like I said, there's all kinds of different subjects, everything from cosmic astrology, which is the entire system of astrology. Well, it's not really astrology. It's the entire system of cosmic broadcast scheduling coded via astrology that I calibrated. So we've got cosmic astrology in there. We've got business stuff in there. We've got witchery stuff in there. We've got all the things. It's fabulous. You also get Club Witchery. Club Witchery is the space where we host Club Witchery in. So Club Witchery is a live stream. We're kind of also experimenting with some other concepts with Club Witchery. But how we started Club Witchery this summer, and it's been fabulous. Basically, I make a playlist, and we have visuals with that playlist, and we combine them into a live stream based on, usually it is the lunar sign. So we will usually go live for Moon and Cancer is broadcasting the Denebian frequency range, right? And so we have visuals that are designed to multidimensionally reconnect you with Deneb music that carries the Denebian frequency range, things like that, to help you access your own memories, your own experiences, your own timelines through things that really work to trigger those memories and those timelines. So much of the time people are looking to activate that stuff with these very show off spiritual experiences, not realizing that memory works the same across space and time. So it can kind of best be described like this. Like, if you're trying to remember something that happened in 2009, are you just like, oh yeah, so was that Becky or was that Jessica that was there, right? You're just looking at, oh yeah, and then we went to Brian's party, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then was that. Wait, and then when we ended up at Denny's, was it so-and-so or so-and-so that showed up? You know what I mean? Like, when you're trying to piece together a memory from a past life, you do it the same way. When you're trying to piece together a memory from a different planet, you do it the same way. There is no difference, right? So that was one of the inspirations with Club Witchery. And how we were focusing on multidimensional reconnection and what the best vehicles for that were really going to be for people. And I realized that audio-visual activation is the highest trigger for people to unlock those hidden codes for themselves. Club Witchery is also really fun. We have a group chat in there, and I post when we go live, and fun times. We also have the gallery available in Basic Witchery. The gallery is our art space. I'm super excited because this year I'm going to be doing some art classes in there. We're going to have your Unlocking Your Soul Codes masterclass in there, which I recorded that a few weeks ago, where I provided some very multidimensional vocal exercises inspired from my 10 plus years training classically in opera and musical theater. I combined my theater degree training with the fact that I speak alien languages, and taught a masterclass about how you can unlock your own. And so we're going to have that. That'll be in the gallery. It'll also be in Soul Codes, which I'll be talking about a little bit more once we get into the Cosmic Witchery tier. But the gallery has been a really fabulous addition to Witchery U. We started, I think we opened the space in the spring, early summer, right before we closed the doors of Witchery U for the summer. And it's been really great just because if you don't know, on my 34th birthday, was it my 34th or my 35th? Wait, it was my 35th. On my 35th birthday. On my 35th birthday, we had driven from Texas to Asheville, North Carolina. We'd gone from Dallas, Texas to Asheville, North Carolina because I wanted to go to the Biltmore for my birthday. And we were still digital nomading at this moment in time. So our Airbnb month was coming to an end in Dallas, and we decided to go back to Asheville. On the way, I started getting beamed images of sketchbooks and exactly what sorts of supplies I needed to go and purchase when we got to Asheville. Now, I had painted for many years. I never really thought I was very good at it. I have a couple of paintings I actually painted over, and I regret it. Oh, the regret is real. I have pictures, though, so it's okay. I'm going to put them in the gallery. But I couldn't see what I was doing. It's so funny, though, because one of the pictures that I painted over, I basically repainted her, and it is now the Eye of Aldebaran. I repainted that. But in the first form, she was a completely different size, and now she has like a flower painted over her. But underneath is the original Eye of Aldebaran painting, even in the exact same colors that I later painted the Eye of Aldebaran in, which is one of my acrylic portal paintings. So that was really cool. I found that the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, that was literally just the Eye of Aldebaran. Like I was also like, what the hell was wrong with me? Why could I not see what I was doing? Like, it's gorgeous. It was so beautiful. And I didn't see, the artistic prowess that I saw when I was studying art history and, in college and stuff. And I didn't see the technique and everything because I have a completely different technique style than anyone I've ever seen. And so I've really been, I wanted to be able to share that it's more than acceptable to create your own creative and artistic styles with my people. And so in the past, I had been doing, by the time my birthday rolled around in 2024, I had already been, I think I probably had 20 or so paintings that I'd finished. And I'd done my first portal painting series by then. That was the Fires of Hydra, but I'd only done acrylics. And with a decent amount of judgment of myself and my art and stuff. And I don't judge myself and my art at all now. I fucking stopped doing that because I started drawing these grids. And so that's what I started doing on my 35th birthday. I'll see you in a minute. And Michael's taking the trash out. And I started drawing these grids on my 35th birthday. Mira's like, I want to go. So I started drawing my grids. I have not done a count in the past 8 months of how many grids I've got going now. I know I've finished over 150 grids in the last year and a half. It might be more. I've also got a ton of grids drawn, and then so I draw the grids and then later I paint them with watercolors. And then so I did a ton of those, completely changed my perspective of art, and I channeled exactly how to do it from one of my main peeps, Raja. Although he's having an incarnational experience now. Sort of. He's on the planet in some way. He's running around somewhere. So anyways, I'll be seeing him soon. Very excited about that. But so I did that, and then after Helene, I live in the western North Carolina mountains now, and after Helene hit, the guides told me to go buy more paint supplies, and I just painted for the entirety of Helene. So I went and bought some canvases and bought new acrylics and started painting and completely unlocked my acrylic style. And I've since completed 121 acrylic paintings. And, well, technically I haven't done an acrylic painting in 3 months now because I started doing watercolors. So I did 121 acrylic paintings in 6 months. And then I started doing my watercolors, and I've done, I think, 70-ish watercolors in the last 3 months. So we we are actually also in the process of creating a full digital gallery of all of my paintings, because I also have frequencies that I channel with each of my paintings. They take you to a variety of cosmic, celestial, interdimensional, etc. locations. I have astrology grids. I have multidimensional reconnection watercolors. I have acrylic portal paintings that are literally portals to other dimensions of reality and snapshots of memories of locations when you land in Aldebaran. This is what it looks like, and all of those fun, fabulous things. So through all of my artwork, I really unlocked a completely new level of myself. Started to connect all of these fragments of consciousness that I'd been running around with, like, oh, I know this, or I remember this, or oh, this is here, or oh, that's there. But then I couldn't quite figure out the neural network of how they work together. Introducing the art aspect unlocked that for me. So it's been really fun. One of my students she's been doing so much energy painting lately. She painted my energy last night. You guys, I'm in love. It was fabulous. Oh, and so all through, it's been really cool to watch people start to kind of another one of my students started drawing all of these sigils and doing spells with the sigils and all of that. And I've crafted bind runes and sigils for many years. I haven't done it in a long time. Now I do the grids. Those are my bind runes and my sigils. They're the grids. But I did channel a whole fabulous page the other day of some very interesting linguistic, transmissions. I'm not sure. I'll put it in the gallery. But we have the gallery in Witchery U, and that's kind of like the Witchery U aspect of the gallery. Like I said, we're going to have an additional full gallery of all of the art because there's a ton of it, and I've got so many things that I want to create with it and so many things I want to do with it. I really want to have a space that's just focused on being a gallery and hosting all of the art and things like that. But in the gallery in Witchery U, we have, like I said, we have our creative classes. We have, I record creative clips and things to help you tune into, higher levels of your creativity, tune out of the matrix programming of how you should be creating, what you should be creating, what creation should look like, all that bullshit. And then we just share, and you can share. And we share our art, and it's really fabulous. And I really also wanted to create it as a space just to let people get used to start sharing their art and their work in a space that feels really just supportive and fabulous. Michael has been doing a lot of photography lately, and even he was a little nervous. I remember it was a couple months ago, he posted a picture, it was his first photograph that he posted in there, and it just gave him so much confidence, just sharing that art, and then people getting to interface with it and work with it and just experience it as really the work. So yeah, really fabulous, and I can't wait to see that grow and blossom more. And honestly, I'm just building my little army of artists for creative badassery. That's just what I'm doing over here. I'm next year at this time, I'm telling you, we're gonna have so many people who have unlocked their art codes through Witchery U in the next year. Oh, I'm so excited. And then finally in basic witchery, yes, you get all of this for only $33 a month. I know, I'm a crazy person. The last thing is we've not really, I think we're going to call it Ascended Freaks. FREQS. Isn't that cute? I love that. We've been tossing that name around for a couple of years now, and I'm maybe it's time to do it. Because currently it's called the Ascended Frequencies Network, and that just feels a little less fun than Ascended Freaks, right? But we have the Ascended Frequencies Network, or Ascended Freaks, or whatever it's going to be, which is the it's a fabulous library of frequencies that we channel and create with Ascended Frequencies that serve a variety of purposes. To be honest, I'm not even 100% sure what all is in there right now. I just know there's a lot. We organize it in a really nice way, and we add new things in there. We also have the Ascended Frequencies Library, which is all of the frequencies. That is not currently open for enrollment. We're going to have that coming back online later this fall. We realized how big that library actually is. And when I started mathing, the math didn't math for the concept that we were rolling with. Like it's a huge library. The Ascended Frequencies library is worth over $30,000. So we had to kind of restructure what we were doing with that and how we were doing it. But anyways, so yes, so that's Basic Witchery. That's the Basic Witchery tier. You get the news, the quad, Club Witchery, the gallery, and Ascended Freaks, all for $33 a month. And yay, I have been brought a flower. How nice. I love you too. It smells delightful. We've got these I don't know what it is, but it's like these fabulous little white like star flowers. They literally look like little stars. They smell so good. So moving on to the Cosmic Witchery tier of Witchery U. Actually, you know what? Before we move on, let us hit the bar or whatever you're imbibing. Maybe have a sip of latte. And then we'll dive into Cosmic Witchery. So Cosmic Witchery, you're going to get everything we just talked about in Basic Witchery, plus 4 additional spaces, all for $121 a month. And I'm going to tell you more about those 4 additional spaces in just a second. Before I hit the bong, though, I'm going to tell you the names. The names are Soul Codes, Energetic Repatterning, Multidimensional Meditations, and Portal Keepers. So let's have a little imbibement here. Little vibes, little dance party, little energy shift. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, excuse me. All right, so for Cosmic Witchery, we have our 5 level 1 spaces for Basic Witchery, plus Soul Codes. Soul Codes is, well, how do I explain Soul Codes? So basically, you as a multidimensional baddie have been a bunch of different places where they spoke a bunch of different languages and communicated in a bunch of different ways, to include languages, linguistics, and communication patterns that don't even sound like a spoken language. So the whole concept of Soul Codes is unlocking those for you, whatever that looks like. This is not, it's not light language like people typically think about light language. Most of the time with light language, people are saying, you know, they don't really know what they're channeling, right? They might know potentially where they think that it is from, but a lot of people say like, oh, you know, you can't really translate light language because it's just energy and vibes, right? Wrong. When I'm screeching in Rigelian at something, I know I'm screeching in Rigelian, and I use many of the same words over and over and over again, just like I do in English. Right? So languages have codified patterns, and that does not mean that we're codifying every pattern on the planet and then having to learn them from that codification. It means that we can recognize the patterns when we come upon them. And so many people, you know, Soul Codes, I unlocked mine 3 years ago. I had to hack in the back rooms to do so, and it took listening to a whole bunch of quote unquote light language transmission videos on YouTube, which quite frankly all gave me a third eye headache. I do record Soul Codes transmissions, mostly so that you can learn what the languages sound like. It's just part of what I do, like with Cosmic Culture Exchange, and I have my collectives that I work with and transmit energy and information and knowledge and codes and things for them to their affiliated peoples incarnated on Earth and things, you know, we've all been around the cosmic block, right? So when you can start to communicate with yourself and just speak in ways that are natural for you, whatever that looks like, that's really the whole like focus of soul codes. Also, through hearing me speaking, everything that I put in soul codes is highly curated so that it serves to unlock and activate your own transmissions, your own connections, because a lot of the information that I get actually can't come in English. Like it's a lot of the stuff that you'll find with soul coding and soul language is that it transmits a ton of information in just maybe a few syllables, maybe just not even an actual full like language pattern, maybe just with vowel intonation. You can get a ton of information with beeps and clicks and really random stuff that doesn't even sound like most people would think like soul codes do. That can also be a factor. It really just depends on the own individual's affinities, where you've spent a lot of cosmic time. It's kind of like people have different accents. Some people speak French and other people speak Spanish, and then other people speak, French, English, and Spanish. And also a little Mandarin as a treat, and some people only speak English and some people only speak Mandarin and some people speak many different dialects of, one language, and some people don't even know that language exists. And, that's really the whole concept of soul codes. It's just really helping you to tune into what exists, what you've experienced, and through experiencing things that I create. And then it's not just me channeling, it's also me teaching you, like I said, like I kind of mentioned with our Unlocking Your Soul Codes masterclass, me utilizing I had a huge amount of training in both singing and spoken vocal performance. And so I took that training and then put it through a multidimensional lens and learned how to use this very music school, vocal warm-ups, vocal runs like concept with soul coding, and I downloaded that's a fabulous class. I'm very proud of that one. I taught that sitting on my back patio, and I love it. No one's heard it yet, and I'm very fucking excited for people to hear it. So there's soul codes. Then we have energetic repatterning. Energetic repatterning is a technique that I developed that is based on verbal reprogramming and EFT tapping, with a variety of energy shifting kind of concepts woven into it, because I've been doing this for forever and I've studied like all the modalities, just a little as a treat at least, to kind of see like, does this work? Does that work? Whatever. So energetic repatterning is a library of my energetic repatternings. And I create new ones periodically. They're really fabulous. We've already got a good library going. And then, I just created a brand new experimental energetic repatterning where we don't just focus on the EFT points for the tapping. We also go into more of the energetic meridians and lines that you might see talked about in like some Eastern medicines and energy exercises and things like that. We got into some different points on the vessels to see what repatterning energies in those areas would look like, and then also combining that with my work with the cosmic chakra system to include the meridians of the legs, knees, ankles, feet, things like that. So I'm also very excited because I'm going to be recording more experimental energetic repatterning sessions and more just of the OG energetic repatterning sessions. And energetic repatterning completely like changed my life. Like I use it. It is my go-to when I'm having a blockage. I do an energetic repatterning, and it really will shift the way that you're speaking to yourself about things, the way that your actual energetic patterns are flowing about things, because your timelines weave themselves based on the energetic patterns that you're running. And so that's really, in like manifestation teachings, they teach that like, the subconscious mind is like driving the show. Well, energetic repatterning is the shortcut to rewiring that subconscious mind that's running the show. And so I also recommend, and I do teach how to create your own energetic repatternings, it's really just a verbal flow of thinking of all the things that you need to hear right then, or all the things that you need to release, reprogram, and rediscover for yourself, and then shifting that energy on a very physical vessel level to form a new flow for that energetic patterning to run on. So then for space number 3 in Cosmic Witchery, we have multidimensional meditations. So multidimensional meditations, years ago, back when I wrote my very first course in 2017, Beginner's Witchcraft, I started recording multidimensional meditations in the form of pathworking meditations. And pathworking meditations is a specific type of meditation where you walk down a path, you go to a specific location, you have an experience, and then you return. It's kind of the like really, simple way to put it. It's a very laser focused method of astral travel. And I utilized it I've done pathworking style meditations, for over a decade now plus. And so, I created this whole vault with all the classes that I taught in my professional witch days. We've got like over 20 meditations from the courses that I taught: Beginner's Witchcraft, Divine Deities, World of Magic. And then there's new multidimensional meditations that I'm wanting to create. So right now we've got a whole vault situation that we are creating for all of the multidimensional meditations that I've already recorded. I've got business meditations. I've got brand meditations. I've got Connect with the Hearth Goddess meditations. Michael was just finishing up my basic 7 chakra recalibration meditation, and my Moon Temple astral travel meditation. And hearing both of those again, I recorded those in 2017, and I'm like, they stood the test of time. Those were legacy assets. Like, I'm just so excited because I think they're going to do so much like unlocking and connecting and calibrating for so many new people. And so I'm just very excited about that. But yeah, it's designed to be a vault of multidimensional meditations. We have frequencies behind each one. Some of them get a little meditation style music. Some of them we just really focus on the frequencies. And I've got new ideas. I don't really know all of the new ideas. I just know there's some new stuff that wants to come in with multidimensional meditations. It's kind of waiting for me to see exactly what we've already got, because to tell you the truth, so much of this stuff I created, 6-7 years ago, and it's like I can't even remember what's there. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it all together. And then finally, for this tier, we have Portal Keepers. And Portal Keepers is the space where I teach you how to craft, wield, and maintain your own personal portals. And then we will also be having some planetary portals that we collectively work on and maintain and weave together as well. We already have fabulous content in there as well. When you join, you're going to be able to access my personal wealth portal bundle, which has a masterclass where I teach you how to open a personal wealth portal. You have to know how to open a personal wealth portal in this new grid of Earth, in this new era of Earth. It is like a must-have. I did not have a personal wealth portal open while we were on the road, while we were digital nomading, and I opened one when I cast. Actually, I opened two when I cast this masterclass. Yes, when I cast this masterclass. Ooh, I love that. When I cast this masterclass, I opened 2 personal wealth portals in the recording of said masterclass, and they work, y'all. They work really, really well. right back to making the amount that I kind of always made very effortlessly when I had a personal wealth portal open, and then started getting some really, really wild kind of scale visions, because all of my scale right now is going to come from Witchery U. So started really honing in on that and how everything is working. I love a personal wealth portal. We've got, what else have we got? We've got the triple waterfall shield I teach you in there. We've got the 7D portal to 70, it's a portal to 7D magic and joy, I think. I can't remember the actual technical name of it right now. But we opened a portal to 7D, and it was some pretty complex mechanics, but we worked it out. It took me 3 days to download how to, I kept having to practice how to do the mechanics of this portal. It was pretty something. And I've also got, I'm going to be teaching you guys this year in Portal Keepers how to maintain your home as a portal, how to maintain portals in your home, how to work with the lighting in your home. Lights are portals. We'll have some, opening your personal 7D portal. Oh, portal of peace and magic. Yeah, what else have we got in there? Hold on, turn that back around. I can't read that far. Help. We've got scroll it all the way up there for me. We've got the Cell Memories Masterclass, opening your personal wealth portal masterclass, the frequencies playlist for the personal wealth portal. We've got the wealth coding around Grandfather Mountain grid mission on Portal TV. We have timeline shift support frequencies in there. We have the Cosmic Consciousness fifth element activation, energy combing practice, and the pyramid ... and the pyramid connection, which I teach the pyramid portal. It's a hand mechanic for portal opening. I teach that in the personal wealth portal as well. So you can go a little bit deeper with the Cosmic Consciousness Fifth Element Activation Masterclass. I fucking love that one. That was from the Starseed Mission Activation Quest, which you get in Coven of One, which we'll get to in just a minute. But yeah, that was a great one. And energy combing is, you got to know how to comb your energy. If you're not energy combing, what are you doing? And then we also have the Magic of Morning and the Magic of Night. Those are my two, Those are my two things. Those are my two articles. My whatever the fuck they are. My stuff. About, I couldn't remember what they were. I was like, are they workbooks? I have a workbook for at least one of them, maybe like half done. I'm really bad at not finishing my workbooks because I never finished my workbooks back in the day. My assistant finished my workbooks for me. I wrote the workbooks and then she made the magic happen. I don't know how to do my own workbooks. I guess I could just write it's just, I don't, also, this is actually what it is. I do know how to do my own workbooks. I haven't had a working laptop in 9 months. Because I didn't want one. My laptop just randomly stopped working in December and I decided to not get it fixed and not get a new one because I was like, sounds like a lot of, I need a break. So couldn't remember what they were. Anyways, we've got, it's fabulous articles taking you through utilizing morning and night as portals. The magic of morning is the portal into your day, and the magic of night as the portal into the dream realm. And then we also have the cord cutting spell masterclass in there because etheric cords are portals. And if you don't know how to close off the etheric cords that you've got going on with your ex, with your asshole family members, with old clients, old business coaches, old professors, old coworkers, old friends, old lovers, old whatevers, you gonna have open portals all over the place. They gonna drain your energy. It's gonna be a bad time. So anyways, Portal Keepers is a fabulous place to learn how energetic flows connect. And we're also going to be talking more in there this year about the neural network concepts I've been working on and how neural networks are portals as well. And then how we really focus on the neural networks that we're in and cut cords with neural networks we don't want to be in anymore, et cetera, et cetera. So anyways, you get all 9 of those spaces for $121. And that's the Cosmic Witchery tier of Witchery U. So those are the two kind of entry level tiers for Witchery U. And then we have our main events. And our main events are Coven of One, Luxury Witch Lifestyle, Monetize Your Magic, and the Cosmic Coaching Collective. So let's hit the bong real quick, because I want to. Beep, beep, beep. So all of these 4 spaces, they do not include anything else, except for you get they do. They include basic witchery. They don't include cosmic witchery. So you can add on cosmic witchery. We do have the option to like create your own kind of like tiers of stuff if you want to. You'd have to just reach out to us if you wanted to, or something. I just realized that live. I was like, wait, what if they get Coven of One? Well, no, I just figured that out live too. You would just need to add on the because Cosmic Witchery, that $121 a month, it includes basic witchery because I'm giving you basic witchery for free. That $121 a month for Cosmic Witchery is 4 spaces that I had actually intended to sell individually for $44 to $99 each, and decided to roll them all up into one so that I could provide a higher level of multidimensional education for people at a lower cost. So that basic witchery tier is included with everything else. But for example, if you want those 4 tiers in Cosmic Witchery, you would just need to sign up for the Cosmic Witchery tier at $121 because you're already getting, it's a really wild value. Like, just the Personal Wealth Portal Masterclass and Frequency Bundle alone is $99 on the Harvest Rose Witchery website. So to get all of this for $121 a month is really good because it's a very high level of content and it's really designed to do a lot for you. It's a lot of content. It's really good. So anyways, that's you just watched, or rather listened to me figure that out and coach myself kind of through that like live. No, I don't need people I was like, I don't want people, how are they going to reach out to me? I don't want to talk to people like that. Like, I want to talk to you when you come into Witchery U. Not like, oh, how do I do this or whatever? Like, that's so last grid. That's so old paradigm. I can't do it. But also when I just remember like, oh yeah, I'm giving them basic witchery for free because they signed up for Cosmic Witchery. Like, it's a perk, it's a bonus. I can do that on any tier that I want and it doesn't have to include Cosmic Witchery. Like, yes, there we go. So Coven of One includes basic witchery and the Coven of One spaces. And Coven of One this year, I guess we're kind of doing like, I thought we were going to split them up. We're doing like a blended, here's what we've got, here's where we're going situation. Coven of One this year, we've got a little redesign going on, and we are going to we have the Coven Lounge, which is our social space. That's where we chat and post things in the feed, and we have a group chat in there and fun stuff. We have the Earth Magic database, which I'm very excited about because I'm a nerd. And the Earth Magic database is going to include some of my OG work, including Beginner's Witchcraft, Winter Magic, Divine Deities, Sweet and Sour, Living Magic, which is a fabulous series that I started that just involves me pointing a camera at something pretty and then just living for a few hours. So I recorded this fabulous 4-hour Saturday extravaganza where you get to just live magic with me on my back porch as I'm just kind of rambling away about magic and living magic and teaching you fun stuff. And you get to look at the mountains and you get to soak up the altar codes because I built an altar right on my back patio banister for this one little 4-hour living magic extravaganza. So we're going to do some more of that because it was really fun. We're going to be covering the Wheel of Witchery. The Wheel of the Year has been a huge part of my personal lived experience for a long time. And I love teaching people how to tap into that for yourself. How to tap that wheel of witchery for yourself, and tune into that earth power. We're gonna be having some. What else have we got in here? Oh, and then I was looking at my list here to see some of this stuff is like. I'm also just looking at my notes. Like, I don't know what I meant by that, but I meant something. But we're going to have the content from Ritual. So Ritual was a short-lived membership that I had at the beginning of this year. I decided that I just wanted to weave it into Coven of One and Luxury Witch Lifestyle. And so we did that. But we created some fabulous content about, really focused on the Wheel of the Year as well. But we're going to have that stuff in there as well. So that's going to be really fun oh, that's just part of Coven of One. That's just Earth Magic, y'all. There's more. So I got distracted. So we have the Earth Magic database. That's what I just read you. Then we have the Cosmic Magic Classroom, and that's where you are going to find the Starseed Mission Activation Quest, which is a crazy quest that I recorded. I did it we did it back to back 2 months in a row. I'm still figuring out how to talk about this program because what we experienced on the back end of the creation of this program through some very interesting information and a rather wild document I had gotten from an anonymous source of mine was wild. Like, I still haven't talked about a lot of this stuff. I saw a 20-foot tall multidimensional being standing in our front yard in Georgia. It was wild. It was wild. But in the process of this very wild, cosmically multidimensional experience that we were living in 2023, I recorded the Starseed Mission Activation Quest, and it is designed around the full moon. So it is a 9-day experience that you don't have to do all at once. You can kind of drag it out. If you want to, you can do it for a whole month. You can just you can do it whatever feels like the vibe, or you can do it for that 9-day period around the full moon. I tell you exactly how to time it in the quest. And, we activate the mission of the multidimensional baddie in that quest. It's something. We also have all of our Portal to Cosmic Reality content that we've been working on. That was the section that we had, and now we're turning it all into the Cosmic Magic Classroom. And so Portal to Cosmic Reality has a variety. I know there's over 10 of the different cosmic frequency ranges that we have content. You can be like, ooh, I want to tune into Arcturus today. And then you can go to the Arcturian tab. Ooh, I want to tune into Andromeda today. And you can tune into that. We're going to be adding a lot to that over the coming year. And I'm excited about that. We have, again, looking through my notes. Hold on. I don't know what some of this stuff is that I wrote down. So we're going to be learning about the magic of the cosmos. I've had contact with over 20 different cosmic civilizations in the past 2.5 years. That's what kicked off with the Starseed Mission Activation Quest for me. We went on the grid mission, which had us digital nomading across the southeastern quadrant of the United States. I then painted 400 paintings to calibrate the frequencies that were present in my head. We created ascended frequencies and created hundreds of frequencies to calibrate the frequencies that I had come into contact with through this variety of multidimensional contact that I had in 2023 when I was channeling and calibrating cosmic astrology. So, and then also we'll be learning more about cosmic astrology in Coven of One as well. Yeah. Oh, and then I can't leave out Coven of One TV. I have a really hard time watching TV, you guys, and it sucks. I used to love to veg out to some Netflix all the time. and I can't deal with the vibes now, and it's sad. We do a lot of really cool shit, and I have for a really long time. So we created Coven of One TV. We have the Time Rift files. And we have 2 locations for the Time Rift files. We have the Time Rift files Happy Valley, and we have the Time Rift files Time Rift Road. And both of these locations are in North Carolina, and we just turn the phone camera on the dashboard when we're driving, and we take you guys with us. We also have grid walkers. We have multidimensional tracking. We're going to be doing some additional things in Coven of One TV. And there's some other stuff already in there. There's definitely some business stuff in there. I'm trying to think of what else is in there right now. What's in Coven of One TV, honey? He's literally on Witchery U, or he might be on Canva right now, but he's working on Coven of One right now as I'm recording.
2 seconds.
Let's hit the bong about it.
Coven of One TV.
So yeah, I wanted to, what have we got? We're going to take Coven of One radio out because I wanted to shift everything that was in there. Coven of One radio, I started Coven of One on Telegram, in a Telegram broadcast channel. Yeah, so we've got some art explorations. We're going to be having some more art explorations. We've got some... we have that. Yeah, we have the Arcturian Crystal Lake spell. Little movie. Yeah, and then grid working and tracking and fun things. So, we've also... Crap, what was I going to say? Hold on. It's because I didn't hit the bong. Literally, I hit the lighter and I remembered what it was. So coming up in Coven of One this year, we've got a bunch of new stuff. It's going to be really fabulous. I don't even know what everything is that we've got coming up, but adding like beginner's witchcraft and the courses and things, that's a huge part of the expansion, because I just was like, oh my gosh, of course, like you've got to, if you're going to activate your Coven of One, the whole concept of activating your Coven of One is I learned how to tune into all of me across time and space. I can tune into me in Arcturus. I can tune into me in Pegasus. I can tune into me in 1832 in England on Earth. I can tune into me in ancient Greece on Earth. I can tune into me in ancient civilizations on Earth. I can tune into me in Ipsos in the Andromedan realms right now. I can tune into me during the Lyran frequency wars. I can tune into me healing from getting my lower multidimensional chakras blasted apart in a Syrian hospital where I fell in love with a certain Arcturian named Raja. Scandal, not Michael. It's fine. Michael liked him too. And then the rest was history, really. So I can tune into myself in the 1970s in New York. If you were in the 1970s, New York, London, LA, Detroit, Nashville, music scenes. Hi, we know each other. Now the question is, did I like you or not? Did you like me or not? I could have been a cunt. Who knows? We've all got our cunty days. It's no big deal. So you can learn to do that too. You can learn to tune into all of you across time and space. This is how I've got the level of kind of connection and cross-cultural calibration with myself that I have, and kind of the knowledge that I have. And this is also really how I know so much. It's just because I tune into what I know as a being in a lot of different places, and I know a lot. And if there's many of me in a variety of cosmic, earthly, and interdimensional times and spaces, and extra universal even, right? I can know really whatever the fuck I wanna. You know what I mean? So it's all designed to, that's not a linear path, though. That's not something that I can teach you in a 10-step process or in a 3-day masterclass or anything like that. That is years straight of devoting my entire life to the study of myself, to the study of an immense amount of information, and then to the distillation of that into what I now bring to my people. So Coven of One is going to be $222 a month for the 2025 to 2026 academic season. Like I said, you get basic witchery included. So you'll get Coven of One and all of its spaces. I'm going the wrong way in my notebook. So you'll get Coven of One in all of its spaces, the news, the quad, club witchery, the gallery, and Ascended Freaks for $222 a month. Then moving on to Luxury Witch Lifestyle. Luxury Witch Lifestyle is the library of all of my teachings in witchcraft and magic for the last 7 years. That's it. There you go. That's what it is. We are going to be adding to Luxury Witch Lifestyle. She has not told me what yet. So currently, when you access Luxury Witch Lifestyle, you get content in over 20 different subjects. We have manifestation, spell casting, alchemy, relationship alchemy, crystals. I'm trying to think of what's in there right now. I'm tired. I've already been recording for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I was tired when I started recording. But there's, just all of the things. All of the programs that I created in magic and witchcraft are in there. All my spell casting master classes, which I think there's 7 or 9 in there right now. We have the Luxury Witch Library, which has articles, most of which no one has ever read. Articles, excavations, which are guided step-by-step questions that you're designed to fill out the question or journal about the question with each step, and we go deeper with each step. Some of these excavations have like 20 different steps on them, and I take you down a journey of, like, one of my favorites is my main character energy excavation. I think it took Michael, I'm not sure if he's finished it yet, but I think it took him 3 days to do it. But it really makes you think about yourself and put yourself in these different scenarios, it asks you, it's literally, an excavation is me across time and space coaching you through highly potent, highly focused questions that I developed to guide you through this excavation of your own self, your own energy, your own XYZ. Basically, I take you on a journey, and then you have all of this content. And if you so choose to write a bunch about it, you'll find, especially like if you have a business, you'll find a lot of really fabulous content in those excavations. I used to literally create an excavation, do the excavation. As I was creating it, I would open up 2 docs. This is how every excavation that you ever see that I have currently in Luxury Witch Lifestyle, this is how I created them all. I would start asking myself questions to coach myself through a situation I was having in business, in life, in relationship, and whatever, right? And I would just write these questions, and then I would answer them, and then I would go back and I would copy all of the questions into a separate doc, and then that would turn into the excavation that you now see. So I literally designed them for myself. I wrote them for me, and then you get to experience them now. So we've got excavations, we've got articles, we've got little blurbs, we've got quotes that I like, random stuff designed to inspire, everything, like from random stuff designed to inspire you that I collected from my own teachers or my own, learnings and things like that, to just a ton of articles and content and processes and things that I've designed and written and created in all of these spiritual and magical subjects. Because this is what I used to do between 4 and 6 p.m. every single day. Was I wrote the content that you now see in the Luxury Witch Library. So we have the Luxury Witch Club. We have the Luxury Witch Library, and then we have Luxury Witch TV. And so we have all my programs in there. My manifestation programs are in there. Manifestation Mindset is in there. Manifestation Rebooted is in there. Only one person has done Manifestation Rebooted, by the way. If you're curious, like, did I do that? No, you didn't. Because we recorded Manifestation Rebooted when we were in Dallas, Texas at the end of 2023, and then I forgot I recorded it. We never released it. And then I was like, oh, I should put that somewhere. And I just decided to put it exclusively in Luxury Witch Lifestyle. But we might release it as a solo program later this year that you can get on the website. But I will tell you that it will cost more than 1 month of Luxury Witch. So you should just join Luxury Witch. Trust me, it's well worth it, okay? All my spellcasting masterclasses, to include the Blockbuster, the Road Opener, the Financial Blockbuster, the Cord Cutting, the Manifest Your Harvest, the Heart Healing. There might be a couple more, but those are the ones rolling off the top of my head. We have the Passive Sales Masterclass with work you're already doing in there. There is so much amazing content. When I did the valuations, I did an audit of all of Witchery U and all the content that we have in there at the end of May, and that doesn't count any content that we've added since or anything that we'll be adding going forward this year. Luxury Witch was already worth over $9,000. So you're getting access to over $9,000 of content when you join for $444 a month. So I think I've really gone above and beyond wanting to make all of this like very accessible and creating a lot of content that is really designed to like, I will completely change the way that you view everything just by listening to me talk for 30 minutes. Okay. Just being honest. So yeah, Luxury Witch. That's Luxury Witch. I call Luxury Witch the Pink Phoenix. And I have a Pink Phoenix bong, and I will be hitting it every time someone joins Luxury Witch Lifestyle. The Pink Phoenix bong will be ritually hit with wishes for your most Luxury Witch Lifestyle to unfold upon your entrance to the glorious Pink Phoenix of Luxury Witch herself. She's fabulous. I also painted a portal of Luxury Witch Lifestyle, and I've got to get her put in there as well. But I'm very excited. I don't know what all we're going to be adding to Luxury Witch Lifestyle this year. I know I'm going to be doing a lot of teaching about chakras. I've worked with the chakra system and developed my own codification of the chakra system like 14 years ago was when I did that. So back when I was a professional belly dancer, I developed a chakra dance methodology to clear, open, activate, and calibrate your chakras through dance movements. I don't think I'm going to be teaching dance this year. I do intend to teach dance and multidimensional movement in Witchery U in the future. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. That could happen in September. Who knows? One of the biggest things is I know that we're going to be upgrading into more space soon. And so that's kind of that's probably the biggest hindrance at this exact moment in time to that. But I've worked with the chakra system in a variety of ways and just continued refining that work now for, like I said, like 14 years. And so back in 2020, when COVID shut everything down, the plan was we were doing travel witching. And we were going to travel around the country and we were going to shoot content and do spells and do all this fabulous stuff at different magical locations. And that obviously didn't happen. So I ended up pivoting and I did chakra energy readings and sessions and work for people. And it was really fabulous. And I was going to teach a chakra course in 2020. And that never ended up happening. And since 2022 and 2023, with all of my work now with multidimensionality and cosmic reality and extending out into macroversal reality and things like that, I've realized that that's because that stuff just wasn't meant to come online yet, because my understanding of the chakra system and how it works and all of that has deepened so much that I really don't think I could have done it full justice until now. So we're definitely going to be adding more chakra related things, because your chakras are energy centers and they give you, messages, and they do a lot. So I know I'm going to be adding some stuff with that. One thing I forgot to say about Coven of One, real quick, popping back into Coven of One, is the first things that we're going to be adding to Coven of One are the multidimensional reconnection frequencies that I channeled. So I channeled multidimensional reconnection frequencies for 14? 13?
Yeah, it was 14.
Yeah, so for the 14 cosmic frequency ranges that I cover in cosmic astrology, I channeled multidimensional reconnection frequencies for each of those. So the Avians, the Angelics, the Arcturians, the Syrians, the Lyrans, the Pleiadians, Hydra, Aldebaran, Antares, all the homies. We have those that are coming in Coven of One. And then we also have around 50 cosmic spa frequencies. I channeled the cosmic spa frequency for all the frequency ranges I could think of: witches, fairies, elementals, all of them, right? Every aspect that I could think of that someone might need some cosmic spa time, I channeled a frequency for it. And so we have over 60 frequencies coming to the Coven of One library shortly. So that's very exciting. And I think that that's just going to, working with these frequencies, the way that we create frequencies is quite literally no one else on the face of the earth makes frequencies like we do. We have a signature method that we designed. We combine 3 frequencies that are very high frequencies, typically 2,000 hertz plus, that I channel from, usually it's either Phil or Bob. And they're 2 of the homies who are they specialize in frequency guidance. And it's I literally see it. It's we have a giant fucking phone book of frequencies, and they just read me the frequencies off. And then we combine that with a low note to provide grounding and stabilization for those extremely high frequencies, and then provide basically a portal between very low frequencies, very high frequencies, and all of the frequencies that fall within the range of the 2 ends of that spectrum. This is not just solfeggio frequencies. This is not just 741 hertz or just 1 hertz. It's very multidimensional. It's very ascended frequencies. So if you haven't looked up ascended frequencies on Spotify or YouTube or your Apple Music or your favorite streaming platforms, ascended frequencies, people. It's almost ascended frequencies' 3rd birthday. I think we got to do something for it. You know what I mean? I don't know what. Also, the Maestros finally decided to start putting out albums, so everybody cheer. Yay! It's very exciting. So yeah, that was just a quick pop back into Coven of One. But Luxury Witch Lifestyle does not include Coven of One, but it does include a ton of other fun stuff. And Luxury Witch Lifestyle, like I said, is $444 a month. That is $444 a month. That also includes all of Basic Witchery, so you get all of Luxury Witch, the News, the Quad, Club Witchery, the Gallery, and Ascended Freaks for $444 a month. And then moving on to Monetize Your Magic. So Monetize Your Magic is the result of me deciding many years ago that I was not going to keep working in the Matrix, and I was going to figure out how the hell somebody so magical could work for herself and could do all of the things that I've been witness to do now for 9 years straight. So, like I mentioned, I was a professional dancer. That was much less successful than my professional witchcraft career, simply because I didn't understand business at the level that I learned it. I didn't understand. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the information. I didn't know what to do. I was trying to do things the way that I had been taught in school. I was trying to do things the way that I had been taught to do my whole life, and it did not work out as well. When I started Harvest Rose Witchery, I was determined. I had an office job, as the Reddit thread will tell you about me. I had an office job when I started Harvest Rose Witchery, and I told people, like, back in 2017, I was still telling people, like, I've got an office job. I do this on the side, and I did, and I'm very proud of that. I worked 80 hours a week to get out of the matrix, and I don't want anybody else to have to do that. It was horrendous, and sometimes I still feel like I'm recovering from it. But I did it. And I spent, when I started Harvest Rose, I had my first $1,000 month 3 months after I started Harvest Rose. It was fabulous. And then I didn't have another 4-figure month for several months. So ups and downs are absolutely the norm at the beginning. And even if you're rebranding, ups and downs are the norm as well, because we have to, have something to get traction with. And so in April of 2017, I started Harvest Rose in July of 2016. So October 2016 was my first 4-figure month. In April of 2017, I had not had another 4-figure month. It was my first and only 4-figure month until June of 2017. So April of 2017... the guy that I was dating at the time and I broke up. I thought that he was Michael, so that was pretty devastating. And then I was like, well, obviously he was never the man I was manifesting. Duh! Figured that out. But I decided that I wanted to focus on something different for a little bit. I had been in and out of very toxic relationships for several years, and I was in my... How old was I at that point in time? I was 28, and I did not want to keep this cycle going for myself. I didn't want to keep living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't want to keep any of the toxic ass cycles I was in going for myself. So I cut off my narcissistic, abusive birth giver that summer. I learned how to do business through listening to, I'd been doing this for many months, but I had been listening to podcasts about how to build businesses. Harvest Rose started out as an Etsy store, how to build a handmade business. I was taking a bunch of different strategies and applying them in different ways. April of 2017, this guy and I break up, and I went balls to the wall with Harvest Rose, and I decided that I was going to learn how to do business. I was going to do it right this time. I was going to figure out how to do it, but without doing it in a matrixy way, doing it in a way that would work for somebody who wanted to be a professional witch. And on February 2nd of 2018, I left the matrix, and I've never gone back. I've worked exclusively for myself ever since. As a professional witch for many years. And I developed many strategies, techniques, processes, systems. I reverse engineered everything that I did to see the levels of success that I saw. I reverse engineered it all. And then to add the cherry on top, I completely stopped making any money. I went totally broke. And so I went back down to making absolutely $0 in my business for the first time in years, so that I could have the experience of going from 0 to 5 figures a month again, which is a badass, ballsy move to do. And I did it in 6 months. While having no permanent place of living. We were still digital nomading while this was happening. While living in a state that I was completely unfamiliar with. While navigating, having gone through immense personal distress and betrayal and grief and all kinds of fun stuff. And even there towards the end of going from that kind of zero back to making consistent money again, living out of a motel. And I did it to prove that you could. And at the time, I didn't know that that's what I was doing. And then the second that I released all of the old paradigm, all of the ick, and started doing things my way again, the money started flowing again. All my systems proved that they worked. I had to completely tune out again of everyone else's methods of doing business, tune back into the way that I do things. I designed and perfected a beautiful system of doing business for magical, multidimensional people. And that's what Monetize Your Magic is. articulate it so succinctly. And that's really beautiful. I saw so many people. I would go out socially and people would, drink, and then they'd start talking about their shitty jobs and how much they hated their lives and how miserable they were. And I was like, why? Like, I wanted to do something about it. And then I got my ass handed to me repeatedly about wanting to do something about it. And I got fought by many people. And a lot of people told me I couldn't do this. And a lot of people told me to give up. And I proved every fucking single one of them wrong. So anyways, on that note, Monetize Your Magic. I went back and forth for the pricing on Monetize Your Magic a lot. We have and are adding to the available business options on the website that all of them come from Monetize Your Magic. We already have several bundles, several things, several masterclasses and stuff. We're going to be adding some more kind of entry level, learning to make money as a magical being, learning how to do business, really practical things that are designed to get that financial flow rolling in. We're going to have those as standalone, a la carte masterclasses, bundles, things like that on the website that will be basically less money, right? We're going to have some more accessible for people who are maybe not in the highest level of financial flow options. I personally feel like if you're not at a certain level of comfortability, you really don't want a monthly payment that you have to worry about. So there are and will be many more a la carte options on the website that will just be single one-time payments that are designed to really shift you into being able to enter a new physical lived reality financially. So that's a place to start if Monetize Your Magic feels out of reach. I wanted to say that first because Monetize Your Magic is going to be $555 a month this year, which is more than a car payment, and I'm very aware of that. My first business coaching and business program that I joined was literally, it was like $30 less than my car payment at the time. And it was like $330 something a month, and it felt almost undoable. And at the time, I remember wishing that there had been more single payment options that were less. I remember wishing, and to be honest, the program was not very good. It was not very good. It was not $2,000 worth of good. It was a $2,000 program, and it left a lot to be desired. Monetize Your Magic is a massive space. I think there are 15 different spaces in Monetize Your Magic alone. We already have over 75 hours of business content in there. 17. There's 17 spaces. When you join Monetize Your Magic, you get 17 different spaces plus the 5 spaces of basic witchery. It is a huge asset and resource that I'm creating that is designed to walk with you at every step of your business. It's called Monetize Your Magic, but you're never going to outgrow it. Okay. It's designed to grow with you. It is designed for entrepreneurs and magical people at all stages of their businesses and brands, from just getting started to I burned it all down and now I don't know what the fuck to do because I've already been so successful, and what the fuck do I do next, right? It's to the people who are ready, who are like, I am in it, I am doing the thing, I am scaling, I am on fire, this is what I came to the planet for, right? To like, well, I've kind of been doing the thing for a while, but like, I feel like this should be easier and going better and more magical and me more in my magic, and you know what I mean? Like it's all of that. And everything that I do in business comes from Monetize Your Magic. I had thought 2 years ago I was going to do 2 levels of business program, and I decided I didn't want to. I didn't want it to. I wanted to do one level because there really is one level. There is also the Cosmic Coaching Collective, and we'll get to that next. The Cosmic Coaching Collective is not launching on 8/28 with Witchery U, as far as I know, but that might change. I'm not sure exactly when the Cosmic Coaching Collective is going to launch, but it's coming sometime this fall. But the Cosmic Coaching Collective is like a different level of conversation because it's a conversation. It's not a asset bank of processes and systems and seasons and flows and how to do this and how to do that and what this means and what that means and how to navigate this and how to navigate that. Monetize Your Magic is really designed for you to never need a business coach, which is funny because I do have, like I mentioned earlier in this episode, I do have some private clients. I only have one private client right now because I don't want any more private clients. I haven't opened private client spaces in a year now. Because I've been really devoted to my one client in Witchery U. And the refinement of how I wanted to design and architect this new era of my brand. So Monetize Your Magic is a 7-step process that also has supporting flows, systems, and concepts with it. I take you on the 7-step process of monetizing your magic, and you do this over and over. The concept of monetizing your magic is cyclical in nature. It is not linear. You are never going to be done. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to be monetizing your magic for a hot minute, okay? So you might as well enjoy it, and it might as well be fun, and it might as well not be some gross matrixy scheduled pants-wearing Zoom call having LinkedIn scheduling bullshit. It should be fucking magic. If you're magic, your job should be magic, right? Like that just matches. So we start literally with unlocking your magic. I take you on I think it's 15 or 17 videos. It's a whole playlist. It's fabulous. It's got its own section. Process of unlocking your magic. We get some really interesting codes. I've actually got to record a little bit of an update for Unlock Your Magic though, because we had a little bit of an elevation. So also as the processes, as the programs, as the systems, as the techniques, as the tools evolve, I update them. It's a living library. It's not just a static step-by-step, do it all, and then you will have achieved money and freedom, like bullshit energy, right? It's the actual lived experience of monetizing your magic. I've been doing this now for 7.5 years straight. I have not done anything else for money. I know a thing or two about the daily lived experience of monetizing your magic and doing it in an aligned way. I also know about doing it in an unaligned way. I used to cry every Friday at 4 p.m. I had a scheduled cry in the bathtub because I was stressed out. I was still immersed in a lot of the old paradigm of business, a lot of the old matrixy ways of entrepreneurship and just perspectives and stuff. And we're talking about back in like 2019, 2020 a little bit, but really 2019. And by 2020, I was like, I fucking had enough of this. We got to do things in a different way. By 2021, I was fully committed. Like, we are shifting everything. And that has been the sole focus of my entire reality ever since. So yeah, we start with Unlock Your Magic, where I've been doing a lot more creation for like business and 7D right now. That's step 2 in monetizing your magic. We also have the Iconic Legacy brand. I teach you how to build a personal brand and a business brand, combine the two, and then if you ever decide, or when you decide that you want to shift the business brand because your personal brand has shifted, you can. So like a couple years ago, I was like, I wanted to tune more into teaching, more into my, any one-to-one work that I did was with extremely high-level clients that I was spending a lot of time with, that I was building really legacy long-term relationships with, and all of the rest of my work. I wanted to be able to be infinitely experienced by a lot of people over a lot of time. Everything that I create is designed to last for decades. And that's working well so far. My oldest content's 7, and it apparently never goes out of style. Oh, we never go out of style. Look, all I'm saying is all the songs, TS12, produced by the guys that are responsible for my favorite Taylor Swift song, which is Style. I'm sorry, I'm a basic bitch. I'm sorry, I'm a basic witch, y'all. I'm a basic witch. My favorite is it's Style. It's followed by Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. Okay, that's my personal top 2. But I'm just like, ooh, we got some style bops going on. I hope so. So yeah. Also in Monetize Your Magic, business architecture. The architecture of your business and brand is one of the biggest things, and you have to know how to do it right. I'm going to be talking a lot more about these individual things in other podcast episodes so that you'll know more about what this is, but this is just kind of a brief overview. We also have my fabulous offers decoded system where I take you through every type of offer you can possibly come up with, and every time I come up with a new style of offer or hear about a new style of offer, it's like I'm adding to that. Steps 2 through 7 of Monetize Your Magic, they're like, we're working on them right now. We've got some content in, I believe, every single step. There's at least 2 or 3 pieces of content already. So like I said, there's like over 75 hours of business content that you get access to when you join. We also have... What else have we got? We've got, the Monetize Your Magic funnel. You can't forget the Monetize Your Magic funnel. The Monetize Your Magic funnel is the funnel system that I created that had already made me $500,000 as a professional witch before I realized what a funnel was. And it was really funny because I was sitting in my garden tub taking a bubble bath, like, ooh, gonna learn how to design funnels so that I can scale my brand, right? It's like 2020. And then I was sitting there and I was like, wait, that's a funnel? Wait, this is a funnel? But I've got a funnel. Wait, somebody just messaged me about my funnel. And I realized I had already built a really ingenious funnel that had already served in the upper hundreds to low thousands of clients, that had built a global brand that, like I said, had already made me $500,000. Well, over $500,000, and was literally bringing in clients while I slept. And the business coaches of 2025 are acting like they're doing it for the first time. Meanwhile, I'm doing it for the 8th time. Oh, little lyricism in there. If you know, you know. We were listening to that. That's from what's the name of the song?
Roll the windows down.
Roll the windows down. Roll the windows up.
Roll the windows up.
Roll the windows up. Roll the windows up by Machine Gun Kelly. We were listening to that back in the first iteration of Witchery U, which was a completely different network in 2022. Yeah. Anyways, so that's Monetize Your Magic. What else have we got in there? We've got luxurious live streams. That's my entire content creation process for both short form and long form content. We've got the lab, which is where luxurious live streams was the first thing in the lab. We've got some more things. My legacy launches process is going to be coming this fall in the lab. It's experimental things in business that I teach you about. We've got Know Thyself. That is my entrepreneur focused section of Monetize Your Magic, where I take you through astrology, human design to know thyself, past lives to know thyself. I've got a really fabulous process called the list, which is actually something that my dad was doing 30 years ago and taught me. My dad's a finance guy, and he had this list that he carted around on a yellow legal pad, and it was handwritten, and it was fucking iconic, okay? And it was a list of all the things he liked. And I take you through how to create your own list, how this can inform your branding, your business, your offers, the things that really just give you knowledge of yourself. And Know Thyself is like my fun I was an oracle of Delphi. I was an oracle of everywhere, okay? Where haven't I been an oracle? Know thyself is my fun. Oracle-centered self-knowledge extravaganza. And then, of course, I can't leave out the 4 seasons. And the 4 seasons is my business flow of annual lifestyle living that has 4 seasons. Spring is on brand, summer is stacked, fall is lifestyle camera action, and winter is elevate everything. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, it's dichotomy of pretension. This summer, everybody in Monetize Your Magic was having a winter. And sometimes you'll have a winter and a summer, you'll have a spring and a fall, or a fall and a spring, or a fall and the summer sometimes. Fall and summer is less common than winter and summer. Typically, I've noticed winter and summer, they can overlap. They can kind of like, I don't know, maybe we were all tuned into like the southern hemisphere this year. I don't know. So we're having winter and summer, but we were having winter and summer. And then sometimes I've noticed that spring and fall. Sometimes you can have a spring in the fall or a fall in the spring. It's been a funky summer, but this is a thing that I've noticed with just business and life in general. Sometimes instead of being really out there and getting everything, things will stack out. So stacked is my method of business development that I created, and we focus on business development in the summer a lot, and that can also mimic winter a lot. That can mimic the elevate everything process. So stacked is where we do business development. On brand, as you may have guessed, is what is on brand for you across space and time, and then how do we weave that into your brand, into your business, and wield the magic of you as your brand and your business. Lifestyle camera action is the concept of living a lifestyle that all you have to do is point a camera at it and start recording, or hit record on your voice notes and start recording, or in some way you record your lifestyle as the backbone and foundation of your brand. So you're really living on brand. You're living a lifestyle that is so fabulous, so aesthetically pleasing, so in your energy, in your frequency, in your resonance, right? That you can just point your camera at it, and that creates the content that you end up curating for the entire lifespan of monetizing your magic. And then that creates a library of your magic. So this is the process that I've used to effortlessly collect over 100,000. Yes, that's right. Over 100,000 pieces of media in the last 9 years. I have a huge archive of everything from all of the work that I have done, all of those spells that I cast. Yep, I've got video and photo footage of them. I have videos telling exactly, I did my nightly altar update series, which is nightly altar updates were the inspiration for luxurious life streams. That's how I created the luxurious life streams content creation method, which is what organically grew my social media to, at its height, almost 13,000 on Instagram. It's what built the global brand of Harvest Rose Witchery. It's what did all of the things. It's what got me interviewed by magazines and news outlets and things and all of that fun stuff. About witchcraft. So I did nightly altar updates. So I've got all of this footage of the work that I did. I recorded footage that no one's ever seen of things that I was experiencing behind the scenes. I've got audio footage. I've got video footage. I've got photos. I've got, video and photo footage of all of the trips that I went on, of so many different things. Like I said, I think total in my phone, I've got over 106,000 pieces of media. And I would say that maybe 1,000 of that was from prior to Harvest Rose. Everything after's like everything really came from Harvest Rose. So I've created this huge archive of footage, of everything from, like I said, spells to the mountains to the beach. I don't have a lot of beach footage. I don't go to the beach a lot, but it's the footage of my lived, life of New Orleans, of Portland, Oregon, of just the places that I've been and the things that I've done, a ton of stuff of Dallas. I've always had a love affair with Dallas. And, all of that. So, yeah, all of that's in Monetize Your Magic. Like I said, it's a living library. I add to it all the time. We've got a bunch of new stuff we're about to put in there that I've been recording. And it's been cool to watch it evolve and grow. And, every year we add so much to it. And it's really fun too, because it's like, it's not the, it's something that's living. It's the most content right now is in Luxurious Life Streams, Unlock Your Magic. And then the Monetize Your Magic Lounge has the entire playlist. I do behind the scenes episodes, what it's really like to run a business, what it's really like to do this, what it's really like, you can literally hear there was a period of time where I was like feeling like I needed to break up with Harvest Rose Witchery and start something completely new. And you can hear what it was like from that perspective, and then see what it was like for me to go, through different things, how I handled stuff, and see that a lot of the stuff that people, so much of the time I find people in business, people who are starting businesses, people who are in business, entrepreneurs in general, judge themselves and think that they're the only one experiencing XYZ. And when they realize that this is completely normal, this is something that we all go through, and it's just about how do you lead yourself through that. I think that so much, I have a Capricorn stellium in the first house. And so much of like how I really show people what to do is through my own lived experience. And so, yeah, it's really fun. And it's been really fun to watch people progress through Monetize Your Magic and live entrepreneurs were fucking weird, right? Like, we live in a different realm of reality than anybody else. Like, I cannot talk to people who have to go to a 9 to 5 anymore, because I'm like, what's that? I don't know what that's like. I'm sorry. Like, what do you mean? Somebody tells you what to do with your time. Like, oh my God, you have to be somewhere at a specific time? What the hell? Like, I don't understand. And so it's been really fun though, watching people, and I can't wait to watch so many more people go through the process of Monetize Your Magic. And I'm so excited just about the things that I'm creating and the way I'm creating for it. I had been very frustrated with the entire business coaching world. And I actually, like 2 weeks ago, I was like, I'm going to take a full creative sabbatical from Witchery U. That's what I'm going to do for 2025 to 2026. Fuck all these plans. And I was going to do it. And I had told my Monetize Your Magic students, though, that I was going to create 3 more things for them. I had promised 3 things, and I was going to create those 3 things. I still haven't created one because I got some new information about it's my on retainer masterclass, how to craft an on retainer offer, why people buy on retainer offers. It's probably going to be several classes that end up becoming like one bundle, but I won't record things until they're ready. So that one's still percolating. But I was like, nope, I'm going to record these last 3 things. I'm just going to take a sabbatical, and I decided that, and I sat down and I recorded the first thing for Monetize Your Magic, and I fell back in love with it and was like, nope, no sabbatical for me. I'm ready to go. Woo! Energy is shifted. So yeah, that was fun. It happens. It happens. It's no big deal. People need to see what running a business is really like. And that's what I endeavor to show. As well as how do we actually do this? You know what I mean? Not just like, hey, it's normal to have freakouts sometimes, and it's a wave that we ride. But then also, what are the actual processes and systems and strategies that we utilize to actually ride this wave? So yeah, and then we have the Cosmic Coaching Collective coming, and it has been morphing. It has been tuning into exactly what it is, and it doesn't want to be discussed more than that right now, but just know it's coming in the future. It will be here. And yeah, so That's the deets. That's the tea. We also, okay, it refuses to let me not talk about it. So we also we are going to have an all-inclusive when the Cosmic Coaching Collective, I don't know if maybe that's it. Maybe it wants to have maybe we want to have an all-inclusive situation before the Cosmic Coaching Collective launches. So that's going to be the Multidimensional Baddie Academy. Welcome to the Multidimensional Baddie Academy. So that's going to be our all-inclusive package. I've got to look at, is the Cosmic Coaching Collective coming online right away? Or are we waiting for that? And if so, that will shift the pricing of the Multidimensional Baddie Academy. It's designed to be levels 1, 2, and 3. And level 3 is Coven of One, Luxury, Witch Lifestyle, Monetize Your Magic. And then when it comes forth, the Cosmic Coaching Collective. So I'm not sure if we're going to have that all-inclusive package coming on 8/28 as well, and what that's going to look like. If we do, you will find it on the website on 8/28, and we will have that. If not, then that will be coming a little bit later this year once the Cosmic Coaching Collective has joined the chat, and then we will have that all-inclusive access to Witchery U. The Cosmic Coaching Collective has told me that she is $11.11 a month. And then the Multidimensional Baddie Academy with her included will be $22.88 a month for all-inclusive access to Witchery U. If the Multidimensional Baddie Academy wants to go ahead and launch without Cosmic Coaching Collective included, like I said, we'll look at that, kind of see what wants to happen, and then there will be a price for that. Maybe we have 2 levels of the Multidimensional Baddie Academy. Maybe we have level 1 that is Monetize Your Magic, Luxury, Witch Lifestyle, Coven of One. Well, that's what we do, clearly. We're going to have 2 levels of the Multidimensional Baddie Academy. So, honey, can you do some math for me real quick, live on air? Mm-hmm. Cool. So, basic witchery at $33. Mm-hmm. Cosmic Witchery. Oh, no, wait. No, just Cosmic Witchery at $121. No, $33. Live math with me. So $121 a month for Cosmic Witchery, $222 a month for Coven of One, $444 for Luxury Witch, and $555 for Monetize Your Magic. What is that? $1342. Well, clearly for $1333. Where's my pen? I gotta write this down. We're making magic happen live as I'm recording. Oh, it was in my other journal. Okay, hold on. It's in my other notebook. Okay. So, level 1 will be $1333 a month for level 1. And that will include Basic Witchery, Cosmic Witchery, Coven of One, Luxury Witch Lifestyle, and Monetize Your Magic. And then when the Cosmic Coaching Collective wants to enter the chat, we will introduce that, and we'll just have an upgrade link or whatever for anybody who wants to add that on. No big deal. So yeah, that's the vibe. So all access pass, $1333 a month, or you can choose your own adventure starting at $33 a month. So that's pretty fabulous. That's the setup. That's the deets. That's the tea. At some point, we're also going to have the Multidimensional Baddie Academy VIP option. I'm not sure when that's coming online, but that's going to be an exclusive. I know for level 1, we'll have an exclusive space for you guys who do the all access, where we'll have a little extra space with some extra content and we'll have an extra group chat, extra feed, extra frequencies. I don't know. So if you do that $1333 a month for all access for level 1 of the Multidimensional Baddie Academy, or when the Cosmic Coaching Collective comes online, and we have level 2 at $22.88 a month, you'll get access to that space, that little extra space. And then we're going to have VIP coming at some point later in the year, and that's going to be, it's like a mastermind space, but it's like a limitless mastermind. And I don't know exactly what that means yet, but I know it's going to be fun. So we'll talk about that separately later whenever that comes online. My tongue is buzzing right now, and this is now 2 hours. It's a 2-hour informational experience about Witchery U 2025 to 2026 Cosmic Academia season. Woo! So that's what it is. That's what's going on. That's all the tea. That's all the news fit to print and all the news not fit to print rolled up into one. And I feel like I barely scratched the surface. So, wow, I've really created something here. And I gotta be honest, I did not do this by myself. So much of this has been actually physically done and created and built by Michael, my fabulous multidimensional partner in badassery. He does so much of the behind the scenes stuff, so much of the actual physical building of the sales pages and Witchery U itself, all of the different spaces. He uploads all the content. He does the majority of the branding these days. I taught him how to do branding and he's really surprisingly good at it. Surprising for him. I knew he was going to be great at it from the beginning, but he did not think he was going to be good at it from the beginning. Branding's just, anybody can be good at branding. You just have to learn what your brand codes are. And we learn those in a lot of business, and 7D really informs that. So really, though, it's just about what you think's pretty. It's just about fucking around and finding out. It's just about trying different fonts and different colors and different stuff and having the balls to be like, well, that's ugly. Let me start again, right? And it's art. Branding's really an art. Branding is an art, and I love our branding because it's very unlike anybody else's because it's coded to us. So anyways, so much fun stuff is coming. So much fun stuff is already there. Witchery U, as it stands, with like the Multidimensional Baddie Academy level 1, because this does not include the Ascended Frequencies library. This does not include Cosmic Coaching Collective. This is just the stuff that you will get access to at that $13.33 a month price range. Witchery U's worth over $18,000. Just that stuff. When I individually valued it all out, it was when I did, and I say over 18,000 because when I valued it, I kind of arbitrarily assigned a random number that if I was going to sell all of this stuff to the stuff that already had like a price tag on it, like on the website that we individually sell, I just, added that value in. But then there's so many things in there that aren't sold a la carte. So I assigned like a number that I would, like the minimum that I would charge if I was going to sell this a la carte on the website is what I priced it at. And then I realized I had actually undervalued a bunch of it. So I've got to go back in and redo the valuations of Witchery U again, but I just don't have it in me to do another audit right now. But I realized that I'd priced a bunch of stuff at $33 individually. Hi, baby. When it really would have been priced for $55 individually. So that does drastically change the... Hello, baby. The baby demands attention. Hold on. Hi, baby. Hello. Mira says hi, everybody. Yay, that's a cute baby. That is a happy baby. Oh, we love you. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We love you so much. Yes, bless you. Are you okay? All right. You have a little sneeze? You want to go outside? She's like, yes, I do. Okay. So anyways, yeah, so the lowball valuation of Witchery U was like $18,000 and some dollars. I don't know what it is when I go back and do the actual valuation of it, but it's more than that. So yeah, $13.33 a month, and you're getting access to over $18,000 of content, and then that's ever growing. So a lot of bang for your buck. Lots of options. And like I said, we are going to have some new bundles hitting the website, some new standalone classes, lectures, things like that, that will be really fabulous. But the memberships and the different tiers of Witchery U are really the way to go. If you're somebody who's like, especially if you're somebody who's already a la carte buying on the website little bits here and there. Going into a tier of Witchery U is absolutely going to be a fabulous next step for you, because it's going to give you access to so much wonderful content, and it's going to shift so many things for you. And it's fun. It's fun. It's all designed to be fun. We've got a ton of really fun brand stuff that we're going to be rolling out with Witchery U, and fun new things that we're going to be doing. I've got some fun ideas for the weekend of launch that I'm percolating on, but we're going to have some fun stuff. We used to do a mixer, like a social event, at my theater department when I was in college every year. And I want to do something like, probably like a Club Witchery stream or something, but I want to do something like really fun. Like, I think that'd be fun. Or like, you can just kind of show up and, vibe and stuff. I love Club Witchery though, so I'm all about the Club Witchery. So anyways, on that note, if any of these options sound like a vibe to you, there's a link to the website in the description and in the show notes. And you can go ahead and join Witchery U if you're listening to this. Well, I'm sitting here and I'm like, if we're going to put this out, what's the point in publicly? If you've made it to 2 hours and 10 minutes in, or you bother to click the link on anything, you can find the Easter egg and you can go ahead and join. Because we're not going to put this episode out until everything's ready to go. But I have a feeling this episode's going to come out before 8/28. So publicly, doors are opening on 8/28. But this is why sometimes you get rewarded. Because I just have a feeling that there's some people who, they're like, I can see them on the astral plane. They're like, I'm listening to everything and I'm ready to go right now. Like, can I get in? Why do that always annoys me. Like when people tease stuff and then you can't join for like 5 more days. And I'm like, get me in now, right? Take my money right now. I'm sold. I'm still listening 2 hours in. And my name's not Jay. Jay is a pillar of the brand. Thank you. You'll meet Jay if you come into Witchery. We love Jay. Jay's a homie across time and space. If you're still listening 2 hours in, you're probably ready to go when it comes to Witchery U. So I think you should be able to come on in. Come on in, honey. Linksies, descriptionsies. Okay? So anyways, on that note, and if you're like, well, that sounds great, but I don't want any of that. I just want to keep listening to the podcast. Well, we love you too, and you're a multidimensional baddie as well. Let's hit the bong about it. So anyways, that's my informational experience for Witchery U 2025-2026 Cosmic Academia season, blah, blah, blah. My tongue is literally vibrating right now, and you expect me to have clear diction? I can't handle this. I gotta hit the bong about it. Anyways, I hope 2 hours in, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, even if I don't. So anyways, bong time. And this entire show has been a strategy, and I'm going to tell you what the strategy was as your perk and present for still being here. So the strategy present here is that when you are not in the vibes you want to be, it's really 2 strategies in one. When you're not in the vibes and you're not in the frequency that you want to be in, get up and do something about it. I didn't feel good. I was laying on the couch. I was feeling really out of sorts. I was like, this is mid. 2 hours later, I've proven to myself that I can talk about every aspect that I'm launching this season for Witchery U, which means I can sell it. Woo! It means that the contracts can be collected. It means I can articulate my feelings about what I'm doing and my goals and my vision of what I'm doing so well that I can create content for people that they'll want to join it. That's it. I already know I've created something fabulous. Now I just need to be able to talk about it so that people can be like, yes, that is fabulous, and want to join. And I also have created an asset that I'm coughing through the end of. We can take this 2-hour piece of content and we can cut it up into little bits. All about Coven of One, 2025 to 2026. All about monetize your magic. All about this, all about that, right? All the things. Also, this entire episode was just a test. I was like, I'm going to hit record and I'm going to see what I have to talk about when it comes to Witchery U this year. I'm going to see what comes out. I'm going to see what naturally appears so that I know if I'm calibrated, if I'm in alignment, if the vibes are vibing with this offer. And the fact that I was able to sit down for 2 hours, talk about every single aspect of it, it all made sense. I see the value of everything. I see the value, so other people will see the value, right? I was able to articulate what everybody was getting, what the experience was like, all the things. No time constraints. Just whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And now I feel like I actually have 2 years in a digital location that is exactly what I envisioned 7 years ago. Like I did it, you know? So sometimes when you're unsure of something, if you just sit down and talk about it, like for a podcast or your YouTube, even if you don't have a podcast, like so many people think like, oh my God, I'm recording this on my iPhone 8, you guys. I'm not using a mic. I'm not using headphones. This is raw recording, just right here, live, room noise, fans on, road noise, all the things, whatever. Michael doesn't even edit that much. We do no editing. We're not editing my coughs out. I'll just hit record and start recording. That's it. I just start talking. So when you do this and you let yourself just sit and talk about your offer, this is a strategy you can go out and do right now. And I kind of want you to. If you have an offer, I want you to go hit record on your voice notes, put it on your tripod. If you don't have a tripod, set it on something or just hold it or put your headphones on or whatever. Do whatever vibes for you. But hit record and just tell an audience about your offer. Tell them about your readings and all of the things. Tell them about your program. Tell them about your digital space, your school, your temple, your whatever, right? Tell them about your one-to-one offer. Tell an audience, talk to an audience. I told you, I have a theater degree, right? I'm always talking to my audience. I always play to my audience, darling. And if you didn't know, I am actually writing a musical behind the scenes because I'm not subscribed to these bad vibes. No, I'm not subscribed, but I'm shaky, which is why I've got this little, like, very vibrato situation going on. Anyways, there's, like, some weird tuning going on with the planet. I gotta go deal with this in a minute. That's probably why Mira wants to go outside, too. We probably gotta go do, a joint thing. She wants to go grid with Daddy, and I'm gonna, calibrate the inside. Whew. Portals are, portaling up in this bitch all of a sudden. Damn. 6:56 somewhere, y'all. It is right here, right now. So, so when you just sit down and you talk about an offer, that's how you would sell it, right? If I was, doing a sales call, like in the old paradigm, right? I would be talking about my offer. So that's something that people just really aren't doing very much right now in the online sphere is talking out loud. They're doing a lot of keyboarding. They're doing a lot of typing. But what they're not doing a lot of is talking. And I'm not saying you should go out there and do sales calls. I mean, if you want to, get down with your bad self. But what I am saying is that if you put yourself into the environment of just speaking about what it is. And you can do this with every aspect of business. Talk about it, right? Talk about it in the shower. Talk about it in a voice recording. Definitely talk about it in a voice recording. That will become content you can use that will sell your offers effortlessly in just sitting on your couch, hitting your bong, talking about your offers, like just talking about what you're doing. You know what I mean? Just sit down and talk about it, okay? Free that throat chakra. I have a minor in communications, and I'm a manifestor in human design with a defined throat center. But I'm here to also like inspire you to define your own throat center a little bit, whether or not you have a defined throat center. Like, you don't have to have my training and my, human design or my astrology or anything for me to be like, hey, you can do this too. Sit down and talk about your stuff. Talk about it like you're talking to an audience. Imagine people listening to this recording, new recording 93. People are listening to this on the other side of the portal that is this podcast, right? We hit publish on this episode. Somebody's going to listen to it. It's going to happen. And as this is an asset that I'm creating to talk about Witchery U for the next year, probably a lot of people are going to listen to this recording. Right? And as Witchery U, grows this year, we'll have updates and things will shift. Maybe by March, we have a whole Witchery U 25 to 26 academic season playlist. And somebody sends me a message on Instagram and is like, I'm interested in Witchery U, and says something. And I'm like, hey, here's a 10-hour playlist that's going to answer all your questions. And then the next day, I wake up to a sale of the Multidimensional Baddie Academy VIP, which will in total be over $4,000 a month. That's going to happen, y'all. Okay? I just said it. As I will it, so may it be. I cast a spell right here live on air. And you can do this too, right? You can be like, holy shit, I'm going to make this happen too. I'm going to talk about this stuff and then it's going to make sense. Right? And if you can't talk about it, I'm going to be honest, in my experience, if I can't talk about an offer, I can't sell it. Well, at least. I might sell 10, like back when I did the first network, the first Harvest Rose Witchery membership, and then that morphed into the first like sold version of Luxury Witch Lifestyle. There were other versions of Luxury Witch Lifestyle before that, but the first one that I sold was that. That's what I ended up morphing into. I couldn't really talk about it. And the most people I ever had in there were 10. And Coven of One, again, right? Like when I launched Coven of One, most people, I think we had 8 people in there at the most last year. And it was because I really couldn't articulate what I was doing. I just knew I was doing it. And that's when I was talking about that chaos field of creation. That's what you have to let yourself enter into. And it's not about having high numbers at the beginning. This is one thing, this is a little tip about business. You do not want a lot of people in something the first time you launch it at the very beginning when you're just figuring out what the fuck you're even doing with it. You don't. You want a core group of the right people. And you want as many people as you feel comfortable with. You don't want a huge audience to see if you fly or fail. You know what I mean? You want a supportive group of probably your multidimensional homies who are like your ride or dies, who are just like, yes, I'm here for the codes. Thank you. Sign me the fuck up. Because that's going to enter you into a new frequency of doing business. I don't do business like, oh, I'm the authority and I'm the expert and here's why you should hire me. And if you don't hire me, then you're missing out and you're not in the room and blah, 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 right? Like that's so gross. I can't handle it. I just don't do business like that. That's just not my vibe. Hi, baby. Mira is just going to have a fit if she doesn't get a huggy, though. Hold on. Yeah, I love you. I love you. I love you. Mm-hmm. And she's a piece. Back to daddy she goes. She's like, I said I want to go outside. Take me outside. We've got shit to do. Well, all right. On that note, the baby says we've got some shit to do. So we're going to bring... This Witchery U 2025 to 2026 extravaganza to a close. Thank you for being here. I feel like I had something I was saying. Oh, no, that was it. I was saying you don't want a ton of people in your shit at the very beginning, contrary to what people think. People want a vanity huge launch, and I'm like, bro, that will fry your nervous system. You will freak out, and you will probably have a hard time repeating your results. When you do things in a supportive environment from the beginning, and then you let yourself grow in an environment, much like you're a seed in a garden, right? If you're digging up a seed 24/7, that shit ain't ever gonna grow. If you give it a beautiful environment that is in alignment with its natural habitat, you know, if you give it an environment that is conducive to its growth to flourish in, it will grow. You are that seed as an entrepreneur, and you deserve a beautiful environment in which to flourish and grow. And so many people are testing themselves and pushing themselves to the limit and thinking that that's going to validate them. And then they find eventually they really didn't grow very much, though, right? Like they didn't, because they didn't have the space to grow in. Like I've got a hyacinth that was going to bloom in a pot out back, but I can tell that its roots it was too big of a bulb to flourish in the environment that it was put into with other bulbs. It needs a bigger space. So it's not blooming. Like it didn't actually, like the buds in there, the flowers are in there and they're stuck inside. And I've seen this happen before. With various flowers, it's the stalk can't even come out because there's not enough room for the roots to expand, for the stalk to expand. Like it needs to be transplanted like stat, right? I finally realized what was wrong with it. I was like, what is going on with my hyacinth? Because it was going to do a fall bloom. And I was like, oh my gosh, my pink hyacinth's going to do a fall bloom. I was so excited. None of my other hyacinths were blooming. They weren't budding or anything. This one had a full bud. It was going to do a full bloom, and it doesn't have the room for the expansion for the stalk to come out for it to bloom. So it's literally like rotting in its bud. And that happens so much with people. They rot in their buds because they don't give themselves the room to expand. And so that's also one of the reasons why I've designed Witchery U the way that I have. That's one of the reasons why we have, you know, the quad and the news and Club Witchery and Ascended Freaks and, the gallery is so that you can come into an environment and you can be somewhere that you can plant yourself for a long period of time. This is a legacy offer. Like I said, I feel like I'm just now kind of starting to get started really out in public with Witchery U, and it's 2 years old. I only do legacy offers. I do not do cart open closes. The doors of Witchery U have been closed for like a month-ish now, fully, because we needed to do some house cleaning. I needed to do some reassessment of some people and some spaces and the frequency that I was in and who I was talking to and what I was saying, which I tell you in Unlock Your Magic are the two most important questions you will ever ask in business, and you will ask them over and over and over and over again because they inform absolutely everything. And, yeah, when I did that, that's when I really started to get this much higher level of clarity, and I could see everything that I had created, and the hindsight really started to kick in, and then the foresight started to kick in, and I was like, yes, we are vibing now. And that's how I've run Harvest Rose from the beginning. You know, there was never any pressure for people to, you know, on a spellwork consultation or on a reading or on a chakra session, if somebody could benefit from spellwork, because that was my signature offer, was the spellwork. If someone could benefit from spellwork, I would have a package designed for them custom by the end of their session. Sometimes people really didn't need anything, and I'd just be like, well, to be honest, this was great, but you don't really need anything. I didn't always upsell people. Most of the time there was an upsell, which was that spellwork package, in whatever cadence they wanted to do it in. Some people literally did a spell a month for 5 years straight. Some people did 8 spells a month for 5 years straight. Some people did 20 spells for 3 or 5 months. You know, some people did higher levels at, you know, for less time. Some people did lower levels for more time. Some people did, you know, some people were doing 15 spells a month for, years on end. Because they were just, that was their, vibe of choice. And that's what I wanted to sell. So that's what I was doing. But sometimes people really did, or sometimes they just, sometimes it was like, oh, well, you could do with a cord cutting or a blockbuster, maybe, something like that. And sometimes people just sometimes they'd be like, can we just come up with me some spells? Because I just really feel like I want the energy of spells being cast for me. And those were like some of my favorites. I'd be like, fuck yes, we can. What do you want? Tell me and I will come up with some shit right now, right? Because people wanted spells cast. That's why they worked with me. That's what I was known for. I was known for spell casting. And people wanted spells cast by me. And that's who I was talking to and what I was saying. I was talking to people who wanted spells cast by me. And I was saying, you can get spells cast by me. It was very basic witchery, okay? But it was very effective. And so, I can't remember where I was going with this, but I'm just talking. That's what I was doing from the beginning. Let's hit the bong about it, and then I'm gonna bring this to a close. Y'all have fun doing your gritting outside. I gotta go calibrate some portals with their little steps. I love you. Living in a portal range is wild enough, but there's 3 portal ranges where we live. And that's why we're here. It was the location that I needed to be in to calibrate the portals on the ground for a year. Woohoo! So, anyways. Things and stuff. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm going to go reset my energy, do something else. I don't know. I feel like I still want to. Maybe I'll record something else. I'm not sure. But I hope you also take this as inspiration to go and try some different things. I've got a fabulous show that we're going to have coming out on the New Paradigm of Business podcast. Which, if you didn't know, we have 2 new podcasts this fall. The Multidimensional Baddie podcast is, of course, staying around forever. But then we have the New Paradigm of Business podcast and the New Paradigm of Business coaching podcast. And I'm very excited about both. We're going to be talking about old paradigm business, new paradigm business, what old paradigm business really is, all of the old paradigm business that we are bringing with into the new paradigm, what new paradigm really looks like, what it doesn't look like, which is fake alchemists and harem pants. It does not look like that. And really tuning, I'm very unlike 99% of people in the spiritual space when it comes to business, because like I said, I was raised by a finance guy, and a really good one at that. Hi Dad, if you're listening. I'm sure at some point in time he'll listen to this. Hi, I love you. I grew up watching Bloomberg. He taught me to sell when I was 3. I can't tell you how many times I've randomly checked my phone and seen the words "coffee is for closers" on it. It's just like full old school Glengarry Glen Ross shit. You know what I mean? I just have a very different perspective of wealth, of business, of entrepreneurship. If you've never heard me tell the joke about how I was judging a billionaire's library when I was 19, and I didn't know he was a billionaire until I was 34. That's a funny one. I was like, you can tell he doesn't read. It's like standing there in my Twilight replica choker, like Alice's, right? Twilight was big then. Peasant. You might have money, not sure how much. I didn't know how much. You couldn't just Google people back in those days and find out what their net worth was. And then I realized a couple of years ago you could do that now, and I was like, holy shit. And I did. And then I was like, holy shit. So, I have a very different perspective of money and making money and doing business and things than most people do in general. And then you combine that with having been a professional witch who made 6 figures a year repeatedly, just like clockwork, added $50K a year in revenue, like clockwork. I have a different perspective of a lot of things. And so I hope to share that different perspective for a large variety of people and help people see that there is a new way that you can do business. I've spent the last 7.5 years perfecting it. Thank you. And continue to do so every single day. And, I just want people to live happier lives. I want people to live. Nobody's living right now. I want people to have joy. I want people to thrive. I don't want people to just survive. That was one thing, I'm getting emotional. And that's fine. That means I have some energy that needs to be in motion. That was one thing that people would say to me, who worked with me as a witch was, when I came to you, I was surviving and you helped me thrive. With magic, and that's just what I've always wanted to do. I just watched everybody my whole life surviving. Like, it's always been so fucked up to me. Like, why does everybody just have to survive? Like, it didn't seem like life. It didn't seem like there was any point in living if you just have to survive. And I believe that everybody should be able to thrive in their magic. So much that I was willing to burn my entire fucking life down and go broke and really go through a lot of really very real physical world stuff to have the experience of taking myself back to another, plane of reality so that I could guide others in doing that. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I've never heard of another business coach that would go from being stable and safe and secure and financially, fully resourced to making literally $0 just to prove that their system worked and that they could cut their best time in a third. Because it took me 18 months to go from 0 to 6 figures last time. And it took me 6 months to go from 0 to annual 6 figures again. So, it's just lots of people have that rags to riches, that 0 to, millions, 0 to 8 figures story is really being pumped out online. But can your business coach go from 0 to 6 figures and then back to 0, back to 6 figures? And today I realized I can easily scale Witchery U to a 9-figure brand. That's not a problem. I was doing some theoretical math and I was like, oh, I see why you guys, the guides would not let me settle on anything. The guides would not let me create limitations in any way. Anytime that I came up with a limitation, I was forced to transmute it. I was forced to do something different. I literally, it would just energetically drain me. I could not do it. And I very much appreciate that, because doing the math today, just kind of looking at some, honestly, kind of low numbers. When I saw the math, I was like, I did it 3 times in a row. I was like, that can't be right. 9 figures. And it is. So, we'll see. The proof will be in the pudding in a few years. Give me 5 years and let's see what I do. Let's come back to this in 5 years and let's just see what happens. And if that's not the case, then that's not what I was supposed to do. Whatever I'm supposed to do, whatever I planned in my pre-incarnational planning's gonna contract out. The codes be coding and the contracts be a contracting. But I just feel like I went through some initiations financially, and I did so, Arcturian initiations in this universe financially. Yeah, they'll have you living in a shack in the woods to prove that you can have nothing and still be who you are. And then they'll give you everything to see if you can still be who you are. And it's being able to handle both, and both sides are the initiation. It's not, oh, congratulations, you went to 0 and you handled it like a queen and now you get to have all the money. Nope, you're going to go to 0, you're going to handle it like a queen, you're going to go to 9 figures, you're going to handle it like a queen, or you're going to be taken straight the fuck back down. But it wasn't like, it's because it's a calibration for your own, what can you handle, right? You're probably never going to get to 9 figures if you can't handle that. Maybe though. I don't know. some Arcturian initiations can be wild. So sometimes, it's like really, being able to tune into like what you've planned for yourself to be able to wield, right? So I had always known I would have panic attacks about it in my therapy sessions. I'd be like, I just feel like one day my business is going to stop making money. And that was because I had planned that. I don't feel like that anymore. I don't feel like I feel like I'm good now. Like that's over. Like, because I knew that I was going to go to a very comfortable place. And then I just always had this feeling like I had so much I had to transmute, and I had so much I had to see for the collective. And now that I've done that, it's like, I'm just like, okay, well, time to go to the other end of the duck pond. Whatevs. I just work here. I don't know. I gotta be honest though, like, it's not like, it's weird. It's like, I don't really have an aspiration to make 9 figures a year. I just saw that it was possible. And it's like, if I'm supposed to have access to that amount of money for my mission on Earth and what I'm here to do, then I will. And if I don't need that much money, then I won't. I don't really care. Like, I just want to make that clear. Like, it's not like, oh, I can do this and now you're going to watch me and I'm going to prove it and validate myself. Like, that's not the vibe. I'm like, to be honest, I'd be like, for my own personal self, I don't even necessarily need 7 figures a year, like, to live exactly how I want to live, at least at this stage in my life. Like, I don't actually, 6, yes, 7, kind of ambivalent at this exact year in my life. But if that's what happens, that's chill too. Like, that's a thing. It's just, I'm kind of like, am I vibing, or do we need a pink private jet? Like, what? Like, I think it's kind of funny too. It's kind of like the money's gonna tell me what we're doing. Money talks. Really though, like, if I don't have pink private jet money, why would I worry about gridding all over the world? I need to stay put at home and vibe in my mountains, and I'll be perfectly happy with that. Like, I'm chill. Like, I was happy making $150K a year. Okay, I didn't think I would ever make $100K a year. I thought, a decade ago, it's so wild. 2015, Elena, not even Rose. I had not adopted the Rose domain name yet. 2015 Elena, sweet little baby. 2015 Elena. I'd like to end this Multidimensional Baddie podcast with a conversation to my former self. 10 years ago, sweet little baby. 2015 Elena. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's good. If you have no idea the journey we're about to go on, but if I knew, like, I'm thinking like August 2015 me, I got a job working as the executive assistant to the CEO and CFO of a private psych hospital that had hosted a variety of country musicians outside of Dallas, Texas. I'm not kidding. And I worked there for 3 months, and I was making $17 an hour, and it was the most money I'd ever made. And I thought I would be, but I told the CEO in my interview, I said, I'm going to be a CEO one day. I had decided that I was going to have more for myself. And I was slowly starting to think like, I could be more. I could do more. I was 26 years old. And in my interview, I was like, I'm gonna be the CEO one day. And he was like, he literally said, he looked at me and he said, I'll help you get there. He did not, as it turns out. I did it. I helped me get here. I'd like to thank me. Yeah, I went on my adventure to Los Angeles that fall. Went back into the Matrix April of 2016, which I didn't expect to do. I thought I got out in October of 2015. I didn't. I had to go back. Well, I chose to go back in. I chose to go back in April of 2016 for just under 2 years. so that I could have a steady paycheck, so that I could lessen my anxiety, which was immense, so that I could do all the stuff that I was doing right then, and so that I could start Harvest Rose and do all of that. And then I yeeted myself right on out of the Muggle world, February 2nd, 2018. Never went back. And now we're here. So, wow, that's a long episode, y'all. I guess I had lots to say. On that note, let us have one more celebratory bong bong hit. To Witchery U. And to the witch in you. Oh, you see what I did there? Yeah, I did it. I hope to see you inside Witchery U when you join. We would love it if you would make a post in the quad, in the Monetize Your Magic Lounge, in the Coven Lounge, in the Luxury Witch Lounge, wherever, Luxury Witch Club, whatever it's fucking called. I might want to change that for high levels of cohesion when I'm tired and talking about me brand. Sometimes the answer really is just do like some simple shit, you know, like, oh, I get tired when I'm talking about this, and then I'm like, club, lounge, club, make it all lounge. All of them are lounges, right? And then that's how you make some executive decisions, okay? That's how this works, people. Okay. On that note, I hope to see you inside Witchery U. I love you all very much, and I will talk to you in the next show.